Hi Vaibhav, good morning. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. And you?
I'm fine. Thank you for asking. So, can you tell us something about yourself?
Yeah, my name is Vaibhav. I have completed my graduation from Savitribai Phule Pune University, and also I started my career as an automation test engineer 3.3 years back with Accenture. And
Hmm.
currently, I'm working as an automation test engineer. My roles and responsibilities to understand the business requirement specification, system requirement specification, and also writing the test cases, executing the test cases. Also understand the high level scenario. If it is required, then automate the script. In my organization, we follow the agile environment. In that, we attend the daily stand-up meeting daily 10 to 15 minutes. Also, in my organization, I use for the defect tracking tool as a Jira tool. In that, we put the any defect or bug, and also I have the knowledge about the Selenium with Java, whose concept, core Java,
Mhm.
and core Java, and also I have the knowledge about some BDD Cucumber framework, TestNG framework.
Okay,
That's just for about me.
wonderful. Yeah. Okay. Now, you were mentioning about daily stand-ups. So, every day you are having 10 to 15 minutes of stand-up, right?
Yeah, right.
Mhm. So, what do you discuss in these sync-up calls?
Yeah, in that we discuss the daily stand-up meeting attended by the QA developers and also the Scrum Master and whole team attend the daily stand-up meeting. And in that we discuss what did you do yesterday, what is the today's planning, and any progress in upcoming planning, or in that we discuss.
Hmm. Okay. Now, let's say
Yeah.
in the sync-up, the developer has completed one of the user story, and they are telling that it needs to be the demo you need to give to the client by end of the day, right? So in the morning you are doing sync up around 10:30, 10:15, and they have already delivered the bill to you, so they pass on this information in the sync up call with you. Now after the sync up you start testing, but as soon as you start testing, so every scenario, every single test case is failing in that particular user story. So what would you do?
Hello.
Yes, hello Weber.
Yeah.
Yeah, am I audible? Were you able to understand?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please, Rakesh, repeat the questions.
Okay. Okay. Let's say you had a sync up call at 10:30 a.m. in the morning, and there is some user story that has been completed from the developer's end. Now it
Right.
is in testing, and you need to complete the testing of that particular user story so that we can give, as a team, you can give the demo to the client in the evening, right? But after the sync up, you came to know that every test case, every test scenario in that user story is failing. It's not working as per expected conditions. So what would you do?
Yeah, in that case, means we discuss with our reporting manager or also the my team lead.
Mhm.
The test cases fail. That time means we check. Also, I review for that test cases. Which test cases fail and which test cases fail in particular time. In
Mhm.
what is the issue in that particular test case. I will check, and after that give the demo to the client. Also there is some retrospective meeting. In that we give the demo to the client, and also we discuss
Mhm.
that. Yeah.
Okay. So in the retrospective meeting, you will discuss what went wrong, what could have been
Yeah,
improved.
yeah, yeah. What went
Yeah.
wrong? Yeah. Review meeting. Yeah.
Yes. But
Yes.
in this particular situation, when the user story is not working as per the expectation, so immediately after the sync up, after your testing gets completed, maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes, you will schedule a quick call, and every one of you will gather in a war room or some kind of conference room, and you will tell everyone, you will alert everyone that this is what is happening on my machine, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
the things are not working as per expectation because developer thinks that he has completed the code, everything is working fine, but none of the test cases, none of the test scenario are working. So you need to
Okay.
raise a alarm at that particular time, right?
Okay. Right.
Okay. Now I have given you a website in the chat box and you can click on share screen option. You need to find relative XPath for that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can share screen. You can click on green color option, green color button, right?
Yes, yes.
And you can find out the relative XPath of the tabs. Those are there in that Axis Bank website. Yeah, your screen is visible. Yeah, in the
Oh,
chat box.
website.
Yeah, in the chat
Just
box, or you can open accessbank.com on Google.
just a second.
Yeah.
Axis Bank.
Axis Bank. Yes. Simple. Yeah. Just hit enter. Yeah. Just click on the first link. Hmm. Just close this thing. You need to, yeah, click on close button. It would be on the top right. Top right.
This,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Just click on close button. Yeah. Now you need to find the relative XPath for about us, NRI, support, right? These kind of tab options. So can you find the relative XPath? Hmm.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes. Yeah. So,
Yes.
okay. So this is the relative XPath that you have found. Okay.
Right.
Now, what if this particular website has been converted to Chinese language? It has been used for China, right? Currently, it's in
Right.
India, but what if they convert this particular language to Chinese? So, do you think this XPath would work over there?
Yes, because this is the relative expert and we use for the text method in that,
Hmm.
right? And
So you have
also,
used text, right?
right, right,
Hmm.
text method.
In
Yeah.
text, about us will be changed to some other characters if the language has been changed.
Okay.
Hmm.
Language is being changed.
Yes.
That time we use for the means start with contents. Use the contents method or start with method.
Hmm.
Start with relative expert. There is a two to four options like
Hmm.
as a text method, also contains with contains also start with, and
Hmm.
also we use for the attribute name is equal to attribute value.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So can you write that kind of XPath so we can see with
Okay.
contains, yeah, or with attribute name. So we have to create a reliable, robust XPath such that even if the website language gets changed, still the automation scripts should not fail.
Okay. Sorry, Rakesh.
Yeah, no worries. So see, in an interview, if you get this kind of question, let's say you have come up with this kind of relative XPath. Now you will go for contains method. You can go for class. You can go for ID, right? Those kind of things. If still you are not able to get them in the website, then what you can do is you can tell that we will design the framework in such a manner. We will be using page object model. In page object model, what we would do, we would keep the locators in the, we will create a locators in the pages, right? And if
Right.
the website is getting changed, we will just make the changes in those pages itself.
Yes.
So
Right.
the entire thing does not needs to be changed. It is just like kind of 5 to 10% of modification in the locators in those things, and then automatically your rest of the automation script will work, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, can you create a feature file for launching this website, clicking on About Us button, right? So can you create a feature file which will be used in Cucumber, right? BDD framework.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah. So now you can open IDE or you can open Notepad plus plus Notepad, whichever you are comfortable with. And I want you to create a feature file, dedicated feature file for launching this website, right?
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. That type of. Hello.
Okay.
First of
So,
all, we write down the feature and
mm,
scenario, and also the scenario outline is there.
mm,
One keyword in
mm,
that we use for the means we use example keyword in scenario outline.
mm,
In that we store the our data means password and username.
mhm. Okay. Okay. So first of all, your when action would be that you will be launching this particular URL, right? You will have to
Yes.
launch
Yes.
accessbank.com. So
Yes. Yes. Yes.
after scenario, that one line would come. Okay. Now prior to that launching URL, there should be some given. There should be some prerequisite with you, right?
Yeah.
Given,
Given.
when, then, and, right? Okay.
Given when then.
Yeah. Now, when username field is displayed, okay. So when username is displayed, now you need to validate how whether it is displayed properly or not. So after
Right.
which you should have then
Right. Right.
one kind of verification, one kind of that in then whatever keyword you write, you will have to make some assertion whether it has been properly displayed or some kind of text box is there. Right,
Yeah.
some kind
Right.
of verification you will have to make because these automated scripts will run at night, right? No one would be there to validate. Your automation script should be capable enough to validate everything.
Right. Right.
Otherwise,
And
if you
also,
can, yes, yes, please go ahead.
the given keyword is give the prerequisites means
Hmm.
which are given.
Yes,
Right.
yes, given you have to include. Hmm.
Yeah. Right. Given.
Right. Okay. So this is fine. Okay. Now, can you write one simple program which explains about inheritance?
Okay.
Have you implemented, you would have implemented inheritance in framework.
Inheritance,
Mm.
inheritance we use for the like as a means we create a one base utility class, and
Mm.
there's those base utility class inherit in our test class. Means
Mhm.
we in base utility we generate like as some generic method like as a click by a JavaScript
Mm.
executor and scroll
Mm.
by JavaScript executor. When we cannot work on the same keys, that time also we use for the JavaScript executor for the same keys, and this store we generate for a generic method for that, and also store in the base utility.
Mm.
And by using the base utility object class, we can miss we also we inherit the base utility in our test class, and
Okay.
we use for this method.
Great, great. Okay. So, how many types of inheritance are there?
Yeah, single level inheritance, multi level inheritance,
Hmm.
also the hierarchical inheritance and
Can you,
multiple inheritance. But
okay.
yeah,
Can you write a simple Java program explaining multi-level inheritance?
yeah,
Hmm.
but multi level, right? Okay.
Mhm. Yes. Can you maximize this notepad screen and can you increase the font size, please? Yeah,
Okay.
perfect.
Yes.
Mhm. Okay. See,
Yeah.
class child 3 is extending parent, right? On what about class child?
Class child is a public class. Means when we create a one class in our package, that time automatically generate the public class, right? And
Mhm.
also use the child one,
Okay. So we are
child
not
one.
using second class, your middle class anyway.
Middle class.
Mhm. That is not
Yeah.
being used anywhere.
Also extend the child class. Right.
Hmm. Yes, you
Child class.
have used extend, that is fine. But
Okay.
I am confused about the middle class that is not being used or not being utilized.
Okay.
Mhm.
But multi-level.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mm, sorry. I means,
Okay, no worries. I'll show you an example.
okay.
Hmm. Let me share my screen. So your screen sharing will be stopped.
Yeah.
Is my screen displayed? Visible?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. See, what is multi-level inheritance? Multi-level inheritance is known for a class which inherits properties from a class which again has inherited properties, right? So let us
Yeah.
take an example of this class shape, right? It will have some display function, just simple SOP statement that we have put. Now, there is a second class which will extend this shape class, and it has
Right.
an
Right.
area function. Now there is
Right.
a third class which will extend the rectangle class who extended shape class, right?
Right.
Now what we will do, we will create one more class, right?
Right.
It can use it, we will create an object, right? And then we will
Right.
use all these three functions, display, area, volume. So volume, area, display, all three functions being used over here, right?
Right.
So this is
That was
how
the property of one class to the another class.
another,
Right.
yes,
Right.
yes.
One
Okay.
by one.
So similarly, you can get question on multiple inheritance. Then any OOPS concepts related question you will get because it is mentioned in your resume that you have worked on OOPS concepts and all those things, right? So definitely
Right.
you will get these kind of questions. Okay.
Okay.
Now consider a scenario where let's take an example of same accessbank.com.
Okay.
There is a functionality which needs to be automated. In that functionality, what you have to test via automation is when you mouse over on some particular about us, right? For example, about is one of the tab, and
Right.
when you mouse over on it, you should be able to see today's date and time. Just take this as a scenario, just take this as a requirement for now. Okay, when you mouse over on about us, it should show you today's date and time. Okay, this is the functionality that you need to automate via Selenium. So how will you automate it?
Yeah, we use for that we use for the action class. In
Hmm.
that we use for the action ACT is equal to new actions, and
Hmm.
also use one method like as a means move to element, and yeah, click and hold. Sorry, move to element. We
Hmm.
use for move to element method for that particular web element, and
Correct.
also use for the build dot perform or no, sorry, only perform.
Perform. Yes. And then when will you use release? Release is also there, right?
Release when we use for the drag and drop method, that time we use click and hold move to element release build dot perform.
Hmm.
Means build dot perform we use for the when we perform the more action one also add more actions, that time more operations, that time we use for the build dot perform, and we don't need to use for the build dot perform means only one action.
Hmm. Okay. Yes, correct. So for mouse over, we will use actions class.
Yeah, actions
Okay.
class.
Hmm. You have used Postman for API testing, right?
Right, right.
So can you elaborate your testing experience? How do you test API for Postman? Let's say if any new functionality has been developed, but still UI is
Right.
not available. They have given you two or three APIs to test. So how will you perform testing of those API? via
Yeah.
Postman. Yeah.
Yeah, developer gives us to the URL or URI,
Mm,
and in that we create a new workspace, and in that in workspace we use for the some methods like as a get, post, put method.
mm,
Means a bunch of requests is also called as a collections,
mm, mm,
and in that we hit our URL, and URL we put into the our means our means tag. There is some tag and put into that, and
mm,
also also send the request and give the response in our response body.
mm,
When I
mm,
send the request, that time get the response, right?
mm,
And also some validate the validations like as a headers, and also response body
mm,
headers, and also there is a some like as a uh, yeah, that's it.
Okay. Let's say you
Yeah,
hit one particular API request and you get some response, right?
right.
How will you validate that every time you are getting that response? Let's say sometime you get response as true, sometime you get response as false. So what kind of validation mechanism you will put in that API?
Yeah, in that we use for the first of all we use for the request specification class, right?
Hmm.
uh,
Sorry, which class?
request specification.
Okay, request specification. Okay, fine. Then.
Yeah. That time we get the means validate the response body. There is a some method as a pre-testing method, right? And
Hmm.
in that we, yeah, in that we validate the means response body.
Okay. What
Yeah.
are the different types of assertions that you can put in Postman?
Assertions. Yeah. Assertions means we validating the headers also, right?
Yeah.
Response code,
Yes.
and response code, response body, headers.
Mm-hmm.
That type of validation we use for the assertion.
Okay. So in assertions, you can put status code, that is pm.response.to.have dot whatever status you are getting 401 200, right?
Yeah.
If the assertion is coming 200, so your test will pass. If your assertion is coming anything other code apart except 200, then your assertion will fail. Okay. Then time taken by the response. Okay. Sometimes you expect that API to give the response by 500 milliseconds. So you can put that kind of assertion with respect to response time as well. If it
Yes.
is above 500 millisecond, then your test will fail. Then type
Yes.
of, you can also put assertion with respect to type of response format. Every time you're expecting some kind of JSON format to get generated. So that also you can keep some function. Then header
Right.
response, as you were mentioning it very rightly, that header you can keep what kind of header, for example, content encoding is there. So that is one example. So that header you are getting in the response or not. Then text of response, right? Whatever the text is coming, it you
Right.
can use include, you can use equals for that, right? So these are the various types of assertions that you will put for Postman, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So Vaibhav, I'm done with the interview. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah. Give me any suggestions for me. Yeah.
Yeah. So first thing is the Java programming things, right? So you will be asked to write those Java programs because you have good experience in test automation. So they will
Right.
give you any Java program, reverse the string, whether a particular string is Armstrong number, all those things, factorial,
Right.
star
Right.
related programs. So those things can be asked to you, right? So be prepared, be ready for them. Then
Yes.
they will also ask you to explain the framework, right?
Okay.
So you will have to explain your framework, and after framework explanation, they will put OOPS related questions to you, right? So you will have
Right.
to be prepared with that. Right.
Right.
So that is
Yeah.
that. Then agile related questions, retrospective stand-up meetings, scenario-based
Yeah.
questions, as we discussed it earlier. Those would be asked to
Right.
you. So I think it is good. You just have to revisit few of the concepts, and then you will be able to get a job in your dream company.
Yes. 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 Right. Yeah.
Okay, then. Anything else from my side?
No. No. No.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rakesh. It was a
Okay.
nice interaction with you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And all the best for your career.
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, please share interview questions with us on our email address and
Yes, no,
whichever interviews you are giving, right?
yes, yes, yes. No.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.